Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike, and I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. Was not a good day. Not a good day on crypto land, Bitcoin land, right? The Fed came out and announced they're increasing rates by 75 bips, which was not a surprise to anybody. Not a single person. Everybody thought it was going to be 75 bips. Big deal, right? Big deal. Everybody expected that. Everybody. Some people were thinking maybe 100 bips, 1%, a full 1% increase. And if that would have happened, imagine what would have happened to Bitcoin and crypto. And some people were expecting, or some people were hoping for 50 bips increase. And if that would have happened, maybe Bitcoin would have jumped. But what happened is exactly what everybody in the whole world was expecting, an increase of 75 bips. So why is crypto crashing? Why? Because the punishment is not done yet. And I told you this about 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago. I told you that very thing. This very thing was going to happen. That we would be right where we're at right now. I told you this a week and a half ago. Want proof? Let's look at it.
It happens. But that's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. Now, what am I expecting in the immediate short term? That red line is strong support. I do not think the worst of this bear market is over. I just don't. And so I think we're due for another dump of some sort before we get above that red line. Before we can get above this red line, right? Before we get above here, I'm expecting another dump of some sort. How low will that dump go? I have no clue. Will we go below the blue line? If I had to make a guess, I would say we're due to go below the lows of this bear market so far. Between 17.5 and 18.9. I think we're going to go below that. Still, I could be wrong. And that would be the second time I'm wrong in this channel. Big deal, right? Big deal, because I got a game plan of when I will enter Bitcoin again. Because, frankly, I'm not in it. I have, like, a few sats floating around in various places. Because I've entered trades into ADA, into Ethereum, and into a few other alts that we will talk about again in the future, but primarily ADA and Ethereum. And I'm killing it. We made 50% on our Ethereum trade on this channel. We documented it. 50% versus Bitcoin, right? And so we crushed it. And we're like over 30% versus Bitcoin on our ADA trade. And we're still holding it because we're expecting a 3x. So if you appreciate every single time we get a victory on this channel, do me a favor, give me a like, give me a subscribe. That's all I have for you today. Let's keep track of this, because I'm still not convinced the worst of this bear market is over. I still think there's more punishment to be doled out. We'll see. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But I hope you appreciate the message. I'm in the past few days, I've seen so many on crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube. Just because we had one good day, a day we went up like 10% on Bitcoin, they're all talking about going to 35,000 again. I mean, where do they get this from? Nobody on crypto Twitter or crypto YouTube is telling you about this resistance line. It goes back 2 years. I just showed you. Why do they think it's going to break so easily? I don't know. And I'm not saying it's not going to break. It will break eventually. Eventually we'll get above that red line. Maybe it happens this week. I just don't think it's going to be that easy. And if we do break above it, wait for confirmation. Wait for it to come back down in a month or two, and you'll get in at a lower price than when we initially break it. That's my game plan. We'll see if it happens.
So, right, I told you a week and a half ago we were due to go below the lows of this bear market so far. And the bear market, if you remember, let's look at the chart where we are today and where we were when I made that video. I made that video right in here, right? Right here, like September 10th it was, something like that, September 10th, September 11th. And I told you this upper red line was going to be resistance. I told you this for months. I've told you about this red line, and it's played out perfectly. I told you about this red line before we even crashed below it. I told you about this red line before we even came down to it and tested it as support. I was telling you about this red line. And when we broke below it, I told you it was going to be the strongest resistance. Well, look at that. Rejected there, around August 13, 14, 15. Got rejected. Got rejected again. And I told you back here, before we even hit it a second time, we were going to get rejected. And we were going to go to the lows of this bear market. Well, what are the lows of this bear market? Well, the first one was right after the Terra Luna dump, right? This blue line. What's that blue line? 18.9. That's where the candle closed, right? We never went below it again until today, basically, right? I told you a week and a half ago we were going to go below the blue line, that we were going to go below 18.9. And where did I said 18.9 to 17.5, right? 17.5 comes from the wick back in after the Terra Luna dump on June 18th, right? We went down to 17.5. So that is still in play. Now, if you go back and watch that video that I just played for you, I also mentioned this lower red line that we're right atop right now. This is, I can't emphasize enough how important the red line that we are on right now is. It is huge. If we can stay above it, there is a chance. And I don't believe, I will talk about what I believe is going to happen. But there's a chance, right, that we can hold on and not go lower. There's a chance. But I'm I'm of the belief that that red line's not going to hold. I'm of the belief that there is significant punishment left to be doled out. And it might be just a quick 1 week dip down to 13,000 or something. I don't know. Nobody's going to tell you when the bottom is or when it's going to happen or what the actual bottom is. Nobody can tell you that. Dollar cost averaging is your best friend, not financial advice. But I'm just not convinced that red line's going to hold. But there, if the lows, if we've already set a new candle low, right, today. I told you it was going to happen a week and a half ago. We did it. But if we can hold that red line, there's a chance that that could be the low of this bear market. I don't believe that's going to happen, but it's a chance. So where did that red line come from? Let's look at it, right? I'm going to shrink this chart way up. So this is today, right? We're right on that red line, but keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it as I shrink this up. See, we wicked down to it pretty much back here right after the Terra Luna dump, right? We wicked down to it pretty close. Didn't come all the way down to it, but we came pretty close. But that's not where that red line comes from. Look at this. You have to go back to the last bear market to find this red line, where it comes into play. The last bear market. But way back here, after we had gone to 20,000, right? We went to 20,000 back here in late 2017, December 2017. I remember it well. And then we came all the way down to like 3,200 or something, right? But now if you look at that red line, it's the higher red line. Keep an eye on the higher red line. Now that is, you could see we danced the top of it after we set our lows of 3,200, and we kind of danced sideways on top of that red line. And then as the red line increased, right, we stayed atop it until here. Now I kind of ignore this for that upper red line because this is the COVID dump, right? March of 2020. Unexpected black swan event. Nothing that a trend line can hold back, right? When the whole world is shutting down. So I'm ignoring that for the purposes of this upper red line. This lower red line represents the line if we need to take the COVID dump into account, which I'm ignoring for now. Okay, so we're just going to focus on this upper red line. But so after we recovered from the COVID dump, see, we danced atop it again here, sideways for a little bit, but we were still atop it. We had a little rally, and then we came back down and tested it as support again, right? And then after that, we were off to the races, off to new all-time highs, 62,000, 69,000, right? And then now we're coming back down and testing it. Look how perfect that blue line or that red line is dancing on top of it right now. Now here's the tricky part, right? If we're going to respect the bottom trend line of the last bear market, we need to stay atop that red line. I just don't think it's going to happen. There's the macro environment right now is not good, right? With war in Europe and inflation running rampant across the globe. I mean, the United States has tame inflation compared to, places in Europe and God knows where else, right? And yeah, authoritarianism taking hold across the world, including some half the voters in this country voting for people that are authoritarian in nature, right? And you can guess who that is. So the macro environment is not good right now, and we're heading into a winter for the northern hemisphere that could propel us into a deeper funk, right? With inflation and energy prices, particularly in Europe, and the war turning into a slog for the winter months, and the possibility that it could expand. Putin making more threats, even kind of referencing nuclear war. I mean, things aren't going well right now. And that could be kind of analogous to the Black Swan event, to the COVID dump, right? So, that's what I'm saying is maybe we have a giant wick or candle down, and we hang out down there for a week, 2 weeks, like we did in that COVID dump, and then we recover back atop that red line that we're dancing on top right now. I just don't think that red line is going to hold. I think 17.5, where we wick down to after Terra Luna, is at risk of. I think we're at risk of going below that. And if I had to pick right now, I think we're going below that. I think we're going below that. When, I don't know, but I think that's what's going to happen. And if you've been watching my channel since day one, we don't get things wrong on this channel. I mean, we talked about that red line is resistance. Check. We talked about Ethereum getting. I told you at the exact moment that Ethereum was turning bullish against Bitcoin, and that's when Bitcoin started going up. And I told you our goal was a 50% return. Well, what happened? 50% return on our Ethereum versus Bitcoin trade. Check. Got in at the perfect moment. Got out at the perfect moment. And we're waiting to get back into Ethereum. I have my long-term holding portfolio of Ethereum, but my trading portfolio got in at the perfect moment. Check. Got out at the perfect moment. Check. We're still in our ADA trade because we're expecting that a 3x. But I told you that's a long-term trade, a year, maybe 2-year trade, where we're expecting a 3x. But we're still up 30-something% versus Bitcoin ever since we dropped Bitcoin to go into ADA. And Vaso launches tomorrow. ADA is going to crush Bitcoin. So that's check, right? Our ADA trade, check. I told you since day one, dollar cost averaging is the best opportunity you have in the bear market right here. And dollar cost averaging in this order, right? Putting new money into ADA will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin by the end of the year, a year from now, and 5 years from now. Putting new money into Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin by those same time frames. And I prove it to you. by we dollar cost average every week. We've been doing it for 20 weeks, and we put it into a portfolio that we track. Well, how's that looking? We've done it for 20 weeks, $2,000 into each of them. Well, ADA, they're all down against the US dollar, right? But ADA, that $2,000 is turned into $1,730. So it's outperforming Ethereum and Bitcoin. Check. Just like I said, check. That's 2 checks. And I told you Ethereum would outperform Bitcoin. Well, it is. Ethereum, 1622. Bitcoin, 1595. So that's another check. Every single thing we talk about on this channel plays out perfectly. And so why are you going to doubt me now that I still think lower is coming? But dollar cost averaging is your friend at this point. And I'm doing it, right? Every week right now, I'm putting new money into ADA. I'm putting new money into Ethereum. And for the first time I'm announcing it, I'm putting new money into Bitcoin. I just started this week. I think it was Monday. Monday I put new money into Bitcoin. Dollar cost averaging. And every Monday, it's automatic. I'm going to do it. And because the bottom it's a lot closer than the top. And, I could have started a week and a half ago, but I knew another dump was coming. And I told you about it in advance. And here we are. So now I'm making the move. Now I'm going to start dollar cost averaging because we're getting close to that bottom. We're getting close. But I'm doing it equal amounts right now. Equal amounts of Bitcoin, equal amounts of Ethereum, and equal amounts of ADA. But I have so much more ADA, so much more Ethereum at this point. I mean, I barely have any Bitcoin now because I'm just dollar cost averaging new money in, but my crypto holdings are basically ADA, Ethereum, a few straggling alts, and then Bitcoin's like my least position at this point. But why shouldn't it be, right? Because I told you, all those other coins are going to outperform Bitcoin, and check. I mean, everything we talk about on this channel is working out perfectly. So just keep an eye on this red line that we're on right now. Keep an eye on it. Because this is going to be huge. Let's expand this out again. I mean, if we can, I just don't think we're going to be able to hold it. I mean, look at this. We're right atop it right now. And it's funny that we wicked down to it today. And we wicked down to it a couple days ago, right? I mean, we wicked down to it on the 19th and kind of got support off of it. We wicked down to it, today essentially. A new day has started in the crypto day, but today we wicked down to it again, and now we're right atop it again. I mean, we're right atop it, and I just don't think it's going to hold. And if it doesn't hold, I mean, it could be a quick drop. It could be a quick drop. We'll see what happens. But keep an eye on this red line. And keep an eye on this channel, right? Do me a favor. I have nailed every single thing on this channel. Do me a favor. If you want me to keep coming back, give me a like, give me a subscribe, share the video, and tell your friends, right? Because if you had listened to me a week and a half ago and waited, you're getting in at some pretty good prices. Compared to everybody else on crypto Twitter, crypto YouTube was telling you we're going to 35,000 when I told you we were due for another dump. I told you so. So do me a favor, give me a like, give me a subscribe. That's all I have for you today. I will be back. I can't wait to see how this red line plays out. Again, I'm leaning lower. Maybe I'll be wrong. I said that before. Maybe I'll be wrong. I could be wrong. Not financial advice. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong once on this channel. Go back and watch every single video. I've got about 102 of them, 103 of them, whatever it is. I've been wrong once. So we'll see. Maybe this will be the second time. But get 27 outs in a game. So I'm not even on the first inning yet. That's all I have. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Peace and love to all of you. And you know how I finish. Ban the guns.